So welcome back to Driven 276. I appreciate y'all joining. If y'all have driven long enough, you've actually had a windshield crack or had to have a repair done. What happened to me the other day, I was driving on the interstate, had a rock flung up off the side of the road and it hit and cracked the windshield. Pretty small crack. I did go online. I wanted to actually see how much a repair would cost, and I went ahead and scheduled it, but it's $173. So I went around just checking to see exactly if there's a way to actually fix it cheaper. So I went to Walmart, picked this up for $13. It's a Rainx windshield repair kit. More or less, I just want to keep it from spreading. I don't want to actually have to pay the $173 if I can avoid it, and I think that this will actually fix it. If you know anything about my channel, I do like to try to fix things myself. I've used paint chip repair to actually fix a pretty substantial ding. I did have the ding removed with PDR, and it actually did work along with the chip repair. But I'm actually going to try to do this windshield repair for the first time, and I'm going to have you all watch and see how it does, and see if you all ever have any type of windshield accident yourself or any cracks, if this is something you want to try yourself. Because $12 to me is a lot cheaper than, say, $173 for one chip. Now, if it was a lot larger, of course, then you might be looking at a windshield replacement. But on new glass, automotive glass, it's quite expensive. I didn't look at the quote of how much a Colorado or 2024, 2026 Colorado windshield was. But I know some insurance companies, there's a deductible, and I didn't want to get into all that. So let's just try to repair this. Let's keep the crack from spreading. It's only been maybe a day, maybe two that it's happened, so it shouldn't have spread much. I'm gonna actually pull the vehicle into the shade, as it says, and we'll start the repair. So right here's the crack. So as you can see, it's not huge. Let's see if I can get any closer to it. So we're gonna try to feel this with that Rainx windshield repair. So let's go and get started. Let's see if we can fill it in. Got the vehicle in the shade as it says. All right, guys, it first says to get out any type of loose chips. I don't think there is any. I'm gonna go in here with the razor blade that they actually supply and just make sure I got all of them out. Clean it out really well with this razor blade. And I'll go over it with a paper towel just to kind of get them out of the way. Okay, next we'll put the applicator on. All right, the applicator says to put it basically directly over the chip with this center ring right here. I hope you can see it. Directly over the chip itself, the suction cup surrounding it. So I'm gonna try to get in here even, level. Make sure it's directly center. And adhered. Okay, and it appears to be. All right, let's move on to the next step then. Okay, say there's this resin chamber right here that you're gonna put the resin through at the top. You screw it in. Take this out so I can make sure that it's actually directly over top of it. It says reposition if necessary. I'll move it down just a little bit. I do believe, just a slight bit if I can. Just a hair. I want to get it as center as possible. Okay, see if that's more center. All right, that looks like that's center. That's good. All right, let's move on to the next step then. It says to be flat but gentle contact. So I want to make sure it's flat. I at least have to stick though first. Let's make sure I didn't lose. Okay. And y'all should be able to get a good view from the inside too. That's what I was trying to do at the same time. Okay, it's center and it's flat. Now it's flat, gentle contact. Okay, let's move on to the next step now. Okay, it says to squeeze 3 to 6 drops of the resin, repair resin, into the resin chamber. And it says if there's leakage, to make sure to twist that just slightly. So let's go ahead and add 3 to 6 drops in to the chamber of the resin repair. And this is your resin repair, if you can see that, guys. So it says 3 to 6. We'll go with 4 to start off with. See how fast it comes out. Don't want to spill it anywhere else if possible, of course. Okay, there's 4 drops. Through the top part back in. And to screw it all the way in until it's almost all the way in. So I'm assuming this gives it positive pressure. Okay. So I'm gonna check inside and see if it's actually opened up and it's working. Okay, it appears that it has opened from what I can see. Okay, I'm gonna put a timer here for 3 more minutes. I'm gonna try to get some heat real quick. Now it does say that, you know, high heat can cause worse damage, so you don't want that, of course. So we're just gonna put this on low heat. That's your timer, but okay. So we got on the instructions. Okay, it's just to unscrew it and then reinsert it. Let's go ahead and pull this back out. To displace any air. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat it back up again. After doing that just for a minute, I'm gonna set another 4-minute timer on this one. See if it, give it just a minute without the heat. It doesn't seem like I put enough in there from what I can tell. So I'm gonna add some more drops because it says you can. So let's do that right quick. Let's just add a few more drops of resin. Okay. Let that go down in there right quick. Now we're gonna put it back in there, this chamber. All right, guys, don't be shy with the resin. I think I used right eight or nine drops of this stuff. Let me see if I can kind of get you in here on the other camera to show you kind of what it looks like now. Okay, there's an air pocket in it, and that's not ideal, okay? You don't want an air pocket in it, but I used some heat. I've used heat several times, and I'm gonna pull that plunger back out once, maybe twice more, and it seems like the more you pull it out, it actually pulls the air out, and it actually fills it in. So the first little round of resin, it wasn't filling the spot at all, but now it's actually filled in. So I think once I get the air out that dark spot, it'll be good to go. There's a couple crackings on the side of that, on the side of the chip. So there's another way you can go about fixing those little small cracks. We'll do that at the very end. I don't think I don't feel like that this is going to be a perfect solution, but it's going to be close, and at least it'll protect the windshield from cracking anymore, especially during the summer months when it's hot out, or especially when it's getting cold out, when it gets cold out again. That's the whole purpose. I mean, again, perfection is not what I'm looking for, just to make sure it doesn't crack any further. Let's go and pull this plunger back out, be easy. You're probably able to see it before I am if there's still an air pocket in there. But I'm gonna put it back in one more time, give it about 5 more minutes after this, just to make sure we got all the air out. Okay, let's put another 5-minute timer on, and we'll go from there. Let's go ahead and put the resin on the back of these curing strips and put it over the area that we corrected. And it's supposed to finish off the repair and let it cure. We'll have to remove the excess after this. There's no pressure, but we're just gonna leave it there for a minute. See what it does. Or we'll leave it there for about 5 minutes, I guess. Just have a small little crack. I'm gonna see if I can get it. It says to actually use it just directly on the windshield itself, the resin. And then put a curing strip over top of that. That's what I'm gonna do. Well guys, it seems like it's all about the heat. I don't know if you're still recording or not, but the heat, after I put that directly on it, it seems like it's going away. Possibly, we're gonna see. A lot more than it was. Well, I believe what we got is gonna be as good as we're gonna get, to be honest. So I'm gonna back it up into the sunlight and let it cure. But I will say it's a lot better than it was. Let's go ahead and do that, back it on up. I don't think it's gonna crack anymore. I do think at least we have kept it from doing that. It's here for about 2 or 3 minutes. It says until the resin's actually dry, and it's dry. It says until this comes off in white flakes, but I guess where I used the heat gun, it dried a little bit faster. So we're gonna take it on off, or try to anyways, and just be careful not to scratch the windshield in the process. If you see where my finger is, that's where the chip was. It's a lot smaller than a lot of the other chips on the windshield, so I'm satisfied for the $12 I paid compared to what Safelite wants for $180. I'll show you inside the truck and show you what it looks like. So the camera doesn't want to focus on the inside portion of the windshield. However, it looks very uniform compared to a lot of the other small chips you may get from Pebbles. I will say that it appears that this repair will keep it from chipping or cracking any further. And it's a lot cheaper, $12 compared to maybe the $180, $190 you might pay a windshield repair company. Now, if you want perfect, you might want to go that route. You might honestly want to go with a full windshield repair or replacement. However, most likely if you're driving quite a bit, you're going to end up getting more, chips and cracks and things like that of that nature on a windshield. I'm going to use this windshield a little bit longer. We'll see if it cracks during the summer. If it cracks, well, then I'll get it replaced. There is a link below in the description for an Amazon purchase. If you want to purchase this kit through Amazon, again, it's an affiliate link, but it does help the channel. It seems like that, looking from the outside, you won't notice the chip whatsoever. Again, it's going to appear very uniform to a lot of other small chips, and you can't notice them from any distance. And inside, you really probably won't notice it too much more than a lot of the other small pebble, rock chips you already have. But anyways, until next time, thank you all for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Hopefully, maybe if this is something you want to try, you'll feel a little bit more comfortable doing it yourself. Thank you again. Bye.